we have a very, 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 very talented band. They're from Erie, Pennsylvania, but if you heard their music, you would think that they're from down south. This is Huntley and Foht. And tonight we have joining Emily and Chris. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I was informed prior to starting the show that one of the members is a little off guard here, but it's all right. I'll take it easy on you.
That would probably
I
be
found out about it
Emily.
this morning. Yes, he ambushed me this morning.
Yeah, I dropped the ball on it and told her at the last minute, basically. That makes it more fun, though. More spontaneous.
Yeah,
Like
I do that all the time. So.
Which is how we write songs, too, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll be like, what do you want to write? And it'll just be whatever.
Yeah.
That's why all our...
And then we get
Oh,
weird.
go ahead. Yeah, all our tunes are...
together and get weird.
Hey, you guys probably heard, all our tunes are, like, all over the place. We'll have, like, rock, and then one day we do country. The next day she says, hey, let's do a dance tune.
Dance, yeah. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just listened to that about an hour ago, and that's a phenomenal song, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Which one?
The clubbing one.
That must be See You Later.
See you later?
Yeah, well, it's not spelled like that, but okay.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
That spelling was Emily's creative idea.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well,
The age of texting.
well, I noticed that you all have a lot of creativity to yourselves. The reason I noticed is, not only did I, find you courtesy of Reverb Nation, not only that, and not only did I listen to your songs, and each of them are different, and then you go on the YouTubes, and you actually have movies. So before I even get to the first question I originally was going to ask, what made you all want to do, like cinematic movie videos of your songs?
I think that was Chris pushing that there. He was like, you know what? And he's like, we got to do the songs, and we got to do the videos along with it. And I was like, what? I'm like, do I have to be in them? And Chris is such a ham. I mean, he had really good ideas, and he does a great job on the videos. I mean, he's born to act. He likes to live it up in front of the camera for sure.
It's fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
The first video we did was with his name is Adam Cook, and he did a great job with it. And that's the one called Hey Little Shooting Star, which is it's our more serious video, where it's the typical, the guy was a turkey and all this, and she left, and it's a good song, good video though. It conveys it really well. Now, then when you watch our video Cigar Box Moonshine, that was a total fun free for all that we filmed within an hour and a half, and we even went swimming in it was October in the swimming
October
pool.
when we shot it.
Yeah, let me tell you, it was
cold.
Cold.
About 60 degrees.
But it was fun, and if you watch that video, you can really get a taste of the funness of it. It was cool.
And then your other one, you got Cigar Moonshine. Is that the name of it?
Cigar
Box
Moonshine.
Moonshine.
Yeah, the reason for Cigar Box Moonshine was that I had actually purchased a cigar box guitar, and I started learning how to play the thing, and found out that I could play some pretty good slide on it and everything else, and we just the song just came about from that guitar. So we were like, hey.
Yeah, he literally, he just started playing these chords, and he was like, just blurt out whatever, you know, and he's like jamming, and all of a sudden I was just like, I hit the chorus, moonshine, moonshine, and it was like, whoop! From there, we wrote it pretty quickly, actually.
It's a rockin' song. Rockin' crazy song. We were hoping that, like one of the Moonshine TV shows would pick it up. Who knows? It still could happen, I suppose.
Yeah, you never know. You never know who's going to be watching where or how or what for. And the funny thing is...
Tell all the moonshiners down there in Tennessee. Hey,
there you go.
We'll sell it to them.
You know what? I'm not originally from Tennessee, but when I came out here, I had a co-host. His name's Tempo, and he actually brought over some moonshine, and I was like, "Woo! I'm in heaven right now."
Ooh, that stuff burns going down.
Exactly. So the next thing, I noticed, I went from, over on the YouTube, and I looked at your website, your official site, and how in the world did you get a piano to work actively at the same time you're able to look at, like, your bio and your songs and your video and everything?
Yeah, isn't that cool? That was something that we did through BroadJam. It's called broadjam.com, and that's something we belong to that basically is for artists like us who are writing, who have the intention of having, say, some group or some commercial or a movie, whatever, somebody hearing one of your tunes and saying, hey, we want to use that tune in this production, or we want to, we want to copyright or do a form of your song or something. And anyways, they do website hosting. It comes with and everything, and so that was just one of the items that kind of threw together, and it worked. And I thought it was pretty cool how you could play the piano, and I'm the piano player, and so it's just like I think it's pretty cool. Now the script
piano player, the guitar player, the bass player.
Yeah, bass player. Yeah, I play it. I do it all. It's fun.
Yeah.
So you're basically a duo, more or less.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's right. It keeps it kind of streamlined, and if we have to do a gig or something, we just get some buddies to play bass and drums and just go and do it.
So how did it feel, back in last year that your "I Close My Eyes" made the Pennsylvania top 10 list?
That was I was surprised. We signed up with BroadJam last year, and we uploaded our album on there. And I think everybody thinks, well, this one's going to be the one that's going to do well. I picked "See You Later." I thought the dance one would be like shooting to the top, but that one, for some reason, obviously, most people like that song, and it had way more plays than any of the other songs on the album, so it did shoot into the top 10 and just kept working its way up, and we got up to 1. We were up to 1 for weeks and weeks, which was awesome. So yeah, I wouldn't have picked that one, but you never know. It's very subjective.
Yeah, it's so true. You feel like all our songs, we call, they're all like our little creations and stuff, and you just never know which one's gonna do something. There's just no clue to it.
All right, it looks like you have maybe a fan that just joined the line.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the Buttermilk Biscuits. That's a decent.
Hello, you're on 2 Local Radio. Okay, I guess they just want to listen.
Okay.
All right, so where does your inspiration for your music come from?
Oh gosh, it's usually sparked by conversations, usually that we're having.
Oh, there you go.
Together.
Yep.
Chris and I will start bullshitting with each other, and we'll say something, and we'll be like, "Hey, write that down. That's a good line for a song," And usually we try to write a song out of that. And then the reverse of that is if we're over at Chris's house jamming. They're like I said, that's how Moonshine was born. Just kind of blurted it out. But typically it's the other way around, where I have to sit down and in total silence think about the lyrics and write them out, and then we get together and kind of work out the melody and the arrangement.
Yeah, some of the tunes, like our tunes, like what I come up with, will be like a title. Like somebody will say something, or I will just think something myself and say, there's got to be a better way, or gee, I close my eyes, or whatever, and or like Here and Now. Now, Here and Now, though, that was different. That was, I thought about that one for a while, of what that song was trying to, what I was trying to do with that tune, so to speak, and that's how that title came about. But lots of times, though, we'll just be talking, and I don't know if you heard the song "I'm Just Trying to Keep Up with You," but that one, Emily totally came up with that title.
I was talking to Chris because he's so prolific with the music that he writes. He'd come in every morning. Like, we actually work at the same place. He'd come in every morning. Oh, I came up with a new one last night. And every morning he's coming in. Oh, I came up with another one. And I'm like, dude. I'm like, slow down, man. I'm just trying to keep up with you. And I was
like, boom. Hey, that's a song. Write that down.
Yeah.
I will say this. I actually had a vocal teacher slash old metal vocalist turned into hip hop character named Insanelius live, in the studio yesterday, and he actually said, "Whoa, wait a second." We were listening to Cigar Box Moonshine, and he's like, "Whoa, wait a second here. They're from down here, right?" I'm like, "No, they're from Erie, Pennsylvania."
Yeah, I think we have, between the two of us, we got a little twang going on. And everyone says, like, when I look at the Reverb Nation comments and stuff, a lot of people are like, wow, you guys got a good country vibe going. And it's kind of funny, but I guess it's just natural.
Well, yeah, but I think if you're not from up here, you might misconceive that we all live in cities up here and it's just real industrialized. But the part of Pennsylvania that we're in, even though we're
kind of backwoods, sort of.
Yeah, Chris lives out. He lives out in the country.
Out in the country.
I'm in the burbs, but like you drive 10 minutes and you're out in the country. So country music is actually really popular around here, along with rock and pop. But there's a lot of country fans here, and so we write country. We write whatever we feel like. I think Chris and I both grew up with real diverse musical tastes, and we still have them. So that's kind of why, like, let's just write this one today or that. Whatever genre we feel like writing in, we can go that way because we've been exposed to it our whole lives.
Yeah, plus the fact that truly we want to be like, excel as songwriters, and that was our whole intention, really, is to have other people, do our music, and we just sit back as the songwriters and, collect the royalties and everything's cool. Well, the way it's turned out is, I don't know, we both like to play out and all that stuff too, so it's like, hey, let's just go with this all the way that we can and write all the songs that we want to write, and if someone else wants to do them, or if they're good enough the way we are, then let's put them out there. So we're just enjoying.
All right. Well,
I just think of Cigar Box Moonshine.
Well, I mean, the question I have to ask is moonshine your favorite drink?
I would say it's one of them.
Well, the only reason I ask that is because the guy that does 2 pina coladas can't stand pina coladas. So.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, I've only drank moonshine once in my life, and it was truly true moonshine out of a mason jar, and it had some wicked kick to it. And of all places, it was at an air show where they were set up as an old World War II set up next to a B-17 airplane and stuff. And these guys had a mason jar there, and I said, "Is that moonshine?" And they said, "You darn right it is." I said, they're like, take a swig. I did. Yep, that was good
and
stuff.
And you were like, "Where's the water? Where's the water?"
It was clear as day too. Let me tell you, it was the real deal.
Yeah, that's actually how we get ours too. So we don't get no.
I don't even know how much it is. I don't know how much you guys pay for moonshine down in Tennessee, but I was in the liquor store at Christmas time, and I was, getting gifts for my friends, and I saw this jar of moonshine, and it was like apple flavored, and it was like $20 for a mason jar of moonshine. I was like, my God, are they paying that much for it down in Tennessee?
I'm not entirely sure the prices out here, but I know as far as liquor, the prices are not much different, believe it or not. As far as other things, the prices are drastically different. But when it comes to liquor, it is not.
Okay.
So
I was listening to when I was just listening just now, I was listening to the background vocals in the chorus, and it reminded me of when Chris and I record and we get the melody down. He'll go, "Okay." He's like, "Now put some background vocals on." And he's like, "Go." And I'm always like, can you give me a minute to come up with some background vocals?
Yeah, that makes it fun. Keeps it fresh.
I'm always like stuttering and trying to stammer through the background vocals, and he's laughing at me, and I'm like, "Hey man, I gotta work it out."
So it sounds like you all have a wonderful time. So is this how, when you're like playing for crowds, is this how it is? It's just always like a party atmosphere, feel good?
It always has to be a party atmosphere because when you're on stage, first of all, people are there to see you, and they want to party, and so it should always be a party. It should always be something that everybody looks forward to. Like, even if you're, like, I've been sick and I've been on stage before, and you just forget about it. You're just like, I don't know. It's like one of those things where you, I guess I could call it a natural high or something, where you're on stage and you're doing it, and then when you're done, then you're exhausted, But it's fun.
So when it comes to the crowd, are you more in tune to the smaller crowd, like the family, friends, and, some other people, like a gathering? Are you more into the bigger crowd, or what really makes you pumped up for the show?
It's weird.
Go ahead.
For me as a performer, it's weird. Like, the smaller crowds kind of weird me out. I get, like, nervous. It's like more intimate, so those actually make me more nervous than when we have shows where there's a couple thousand people there, or like a festival or something. So I can't speak for Chris, but personally for me, like, it's like, whoa, these people are like really close, and you can see their eyes.
Actually, I'm the same. I feel the same way.
Okay.
I get more nervous playing in front of like a little say a crowd of relatives or something, like family and stuff. I get more nervous with that, or like a little group, than playing like in a a big setting with a whole bunch of people, out there. It's, I don't know, it's a different thing.
Is it?
Maybe
It's
it's
okay though. Like we did we called it the Grammy concert last year, and that's in quotes because it wasn't really the Grammys. But my grandmother was very ill, and she wanted to hear me sing one more time. So I said, "Hey, Chris, grab your guitar. Let's go to my grandmother's house, and we'll just do like a little concert of all of our originals that we were coming out with." And actually, it was really, I don't know if Chris, if you were nervous or not, but we just sat down, we'd play a song, or we'd introduce it and say, how we came up with it. And it was actually kind of cool, It was kind of like a songwriters series where we got to talk about the songs and in between and then do the songs for her. And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was actually kind of fun. Now, her mom and her sister was there, too, and so it was cool. We did like a little mini concert and stuff, and her Grammy really liked it, and that's all that mattered.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing. But then I like playing a big venue too, and you get your bars and stuff. But I still would like to. I really want to do a big show sometime. Anyways,
we'll get there.
Yeah,
it takes time. You're definitely on the right path, and your songs are very, you're very talented, and your songs are, different in a way that, it's really good how you can, change to a different genre or a different, feeling and a different vibe on the fly. Like, it's not a big deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
We kind of pride ourselves on that.
Well, there's many bands out there that can't do it. If you asked a metal band to do country, a lot of them can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emily
and I
didn't
want to really pigeonhole ourselves, into a certain genre. We just kind of wanted to keep doing all the genres that we like, which obviously there's quite a few. Thank you.
Which to a point I thought might be an issue, but one of the things was we go back to that songwriting thing where we wanted to have produce a songwriting catalog that people might be interested in. But now what it's turned out is more like it's just us, it's our work, and everything's different. And my influences are everything from, well, of course I have to say the Beatles because it's true, but I go everywhere from the Beatles to the Carpenters to AC/DC to Bob Seger to whatever, just all over the place. And Emily's the same way. She's, we're both all over. I mean, I always say if it's good, it's good.
Great.
And I'll agree. At the end of the day, it's about good music. Exactly. It's just, and then we like to keep it that way, so it's fresh, and we're not in just one genre. That
I think it would get boring if we did write in the same genre. We'd probably be like, okay.
Yeah, let's do another dance tune. Okay. Nah, kind of keeps it
we would
fresh.
really get bored. I say that we have musical ADD.
Musical ADD.
Can't focus on one thing for too long.
Yeah, and then sometimes we'll be working on a song too, and then it just won't be. It won't be coming together right, and then it'll be like, all right, let's move on. That's part of that ADD thing too, and then I may just stop right there, and then all of a sudden I come up with something else. So that's part of the fun. That's creativity.
Yep. Out of thin air.
The thing is, with you being able to do all kinds of different styles, you can keep a crowd, involved and entertained, and you're not probably stuck. I'm just going to take a wild guess doing covers all show.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So,
got nice range.
So how would you say that, social media has, helped you all out or really hindered you?
Myself, I would say it helped. For us, it's the way, we both have day gigs, of course. We have to do that until such time. And one of the ways to get out there when you're doing a day gig and everything is to use the social media. And I have to say that, I was talking to Emily about this too, that like Reverb Nation, for us, that's been very good venue to help get things out there. And you got your Facebook and stuff too, and we're anything that I can get us out there with, I do, But there's certain ones that I think have a little more edge than others. But try to utilize all of them, though. I'd say it's a plus.
And that's the thing, that you realize, that social media is there to help, and there's certain outlets that can actually help you out and advance your career. You'd be surprised the amount of bands that I've talked to that have said that it doesn't matter. Social media doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters.
I totally disagree. I mean, you think of we have Facebook fans from Germany, and I mean, they never would have heard us if there wasn't the internet and being able to get your music. Your music just goes out across the entire world. I mean, there's no way you can refute that. I mean, they can find you anywhere because you're online.
And here's another thing: if you're like us, and you're in, you got a group together, and you're doing originals and stuff. Okay, you can play your local bars and all that, but that's who's going to hear you. And without the social media to get it out there, other people in the world aren't going to hear you. Because you won't be able to tour like someone that just has that and they don't have a day gig and other responsibilities. So now for us, it's a big plus. And being on the radio like with you guys, I mean, it's terrific.
Yeah, I mean that grew out of social media for sure.
Yep.
And I'll agree. If it weren't for social media, I don't know where I'd be right now. And the funny thing is, if you think back 10, 15 years ago, none of this was even thought of.
I know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Maybe MySpace. I think MySpace might have been around 10 years ago.
So when you're not, writing or, at your job because of, the economy and everything else, what do you all do on a simple day off?
Oh my
Go ahead, Emily.
Well, I have a 3.5-year-old, so it's usually just taking him somewhere, running him to the playground, or playing in the backyard with him, and he's go, go, go. So that's a day off for me, is spending time with my son and just enjoying his company, because obviously I work Monday through Friday and I don't get to see him a whole lot during the day. So Saturdays are mommy and baby time.
And then me, I'm totally all in for myself, it seems, at times, where I just go and have fun. I'll do whatever I want to do, like be it go ride the motorcycles, take the boat out, whatever. I like to be outside if the weather's good. Now, if the weather's bad, if it's a winter day or something, I might be huddled in the music room where I am right now and come up with something. I'll open up the windows, the drapes anyways, and sit there with the piano in front of me or the guitar and just stare out the window and come up with some grooves. And then I'll say, hey, I came up with some more grooves. Check these out. And
But you'll
then we
say,
go
hey,
from there.
You'll say, hey, I was staring out the window and I came up with it.
Yeah, I literally, I stare out the window and just either play the piano or the guitar.
He's got a nice cornfield to look at, so.
All right. Well, at this point, I think we're going to take a break. I'm going to let them, hear your club song. Can you say the name of it again? Because I'm not getting it.
See you later. See you later, man.
Ah,
Bye-bye.
see you later.
See you later. Okay.
Number one, actually one came from listening to the song, and the other one came from something I was reading. But number one, were you in a pissed off mood when you wrote that?
I don't think I was. It's funny that I thought of that line, "See you later, bitches," at work. I think I was having a bad day at work.
Oh, there you go.
And it just popped into my head, and I was like, And actually, kind of the melody just came out. "See you later, bitches. Catch you on the flip side." And I was like, yeah, I think I could raise something out of that. So I just fabricated the rest of it. And it's funny because we had it reviewed, I think, on Reverb Nation. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah.
They wrote reviews on it, and they're like, clearly, this woman has been abused. And I was like, no, that's not even where it came. That's not the angle that it came from at all. It was just kind of like, I came up with the idea of like, these two people fighting all the time or arguing. And I was just like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'll see you later. And that's just kind of how I wrote it. It wasn't really about getting smacked around or anything. It was just finally like, okay, enough is enough.
I think it's personally catchy. I could easily say, "See you later, bitches."
Yeah, that's the one that I thought would have done the best out of the whole album. I really liked that. We submitted it in Erie. They have a competition. I submitted that for Song of the Year, and we didn't win locally. I was kind of shocked. I was like, I thought people would really like that. But did you say you liked the guitar in that, Ray Ray? Did I hear you say that?
I do. It's either the guitar or the piano. I like right in the beginning.
That part.
Yeah.
He's hitting it like, yeah.
That's this guitar line that I came up with. I don't know.
I was like, do that more, Chris.
Just kind of fit.
And then I said, when you get to the chorus, just hammer it on.
And then I just cranked it. Yeah, I just kept strumming the thing. And what did I use? I used either a Stratocaster or a Les Paul. I don't remember. One or the other. Those are my two favorite guitars.
All right. And the other question I had, what in the world is a cigar box guitar?
Okay. Cigar box
I'm surprised
guitar.
You don't know that being from the South.
Yeah. If you go Google that, cigar box guitar, you'll see a whole bunch of stuff. But it's literally I think it's a Southern thing where, I don't know for sure, but I think so, where they'll take a cigar box, like a mahogany cigar box, a decent one, make a neck, and then kind of somehow put it all together so that the cigar box is the body of the guitar. And then the cigar box guitar usually has 3 strings or 4 strings. Mine has 3 strings. And mine was actually made by a guy in Ohio called Weekly House Guitars. And then I modified it with a guitar pickup on it that you can see in the video, in our video, Cigar Box Moonshine. You can actually see me jamming on the thing. And that's the guitar I use. Matter of fact, I came up with another song on that thing that we'll be recording here through the fall.
It sounds great. I love the sound of it. Super cool.
Yeah, it's got a badass sound. I always say it's just badass slide guitar.
Yes.
That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. All right, so what is the reaction? Or let me rephrase that. How does it make you feel when somebody is really in tune to your song and goes beyond that and says, well, hey, this really brightened my day or changed my life? How does that make you feel?
Okay, I'll answer that one first because I have a real active thing to say on that. All right, there's another artist out there. Her name is Magic Song. All right, she's out of New York, and she sings jazz, real smooth voice and everything. Anyways, she went through some stuff, personal stuff, and our song, Here and Now, she listened to that, get this, about 100 and some times, okay?
Wow.
Because I can literally see that, when I look in our records and everything. And she wrote to us and said, with what I've been through and everything, I truly relate to this song in such a way. And I'm like, now that is cool. That is really cool that we actually, touch someone like that. That's the whole thing. And so I was really impressed with that.
There's even songs that I've written that people say, "Oh, I thought you wrote that about me," or people that I know. One song, it was called "Brown Bottle Blues." It was written kind of about an alcoholic, and I just made it up. I didn't make it up about anybody. And people that party too much or drinking at the bar or whatever, and I thought you wrote that about. I'm like, I didn't write that about you. But it's nice that they identify with it, and it gives you a great feeling. And it's great when you're, playing to a crowd and they're singing the lyrics back to you. I mean, that's awesome too. You're like, whoa.
Yeah, especially when you wrote those lyrics, it's like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and trying to keep up with you. I know people have contacted me about that one that we wrote. Oh my gosh, that's me, and I feel like that. I think everybody feels overwhelmed at some point. I mean, you always feel like you're in the rat race, and you're always trying to keep up with bills and work and kids and all that stuff. And so I think people identify with that song too. And some of them are just fun, and people just like to sing along. And
like our tune,
whatever.
Our tune "Lemon in My Eye" is totally like that.
Oh my God, I love that song.
That's just a fun song.
So funny and rocking at the same time.
Yeah, we got to do a video for that one too.
Yeah.
Got all kinds of ideas for that.
I bet.
So, what do you do if there's if you're at a crowd and they're just not, feeling you, and it's not because you're not talented, because you certainly are. What do you do to try to win, people over, or do you just play and say, well, hey, if you listen to us, fine. If you don't, well, you can go somewhere?
I don't know. That would be a challenge. I have to say, I've played some gigs. We played gigs where people are just, I had one where it actually paid really good money to all of us, right? And we were asked to turn down, because we were too loud. And, I'm sure every band has heard that. But let me tell you, our amps were already on, 0 as it was. And but the gig, and what was funny is we thought it was a joke because nobody was doing anything. The crowd was an older crowd, okay? And nobody was doing anything. But then somebody came up to us later and said, oh, we really enjoyed the show. And I'm like, man, I couldn't tell from anything. And then other times, other times you're just rocking and kicking butt and everything's going good. And that's, it just varies. But the biggest thing is, one thing I learned is if you make a mistake, don't show it. Just keep on going because that's just a little creative thing.
And the other thing is, most likely the crowd doesn't realize it.
They have no
made
clue.
The mistake. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know it, and it's like, all right, don't make a face like, just mess
That's
that
right.
up.
If you don't, as long as you don't make a face and look at one of the other band members and say, oh my gosh, what did you just hit? What was that note?
Yes. Yeah. I've said that so many times, I'll walk out on the break and talk to my sister and my dad. I'm like, oh man, I really blew that. Whatever I did,
and they won't even know.
No
They'll be like,
no.
no.
They're like, we have no idea that you did that. So I'm like, good.
Well, there you go.
I mean, I always, whenever I play, I always just give it my all. I don't if somebody's not responding to me, it's like, well, this is a nice rehearsal and I'm getting paid for it, so I'm just going to keep going. You know, what can you do?
Exactly. The show must go on no matter what.
Right.
Yeah, what was funny is, you're talking about, having, issues and whatnot. The other day, we actually had a power outage right before an interview. And then during the interview, the whole, internet cut out towards the end.
Right.
And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, jeez.
But, I apologize to everybody, and they're, willing to reschedule. But, I mean, it's just sometimes in life, things happen, and you just got to go with the flow, and you just got to move on regardless.
Right.
Well, it's just like a simple thing. If you're playing a gig and you break a guitar string, well, either you better have a spare guitar, or you keep on going, too, That's all.
Exactly. So who are your inspirations, besides, the music industry? Now, I know, Emily, you said your son is. You enjoy spending time with your son. But, I mean, outside of that, who really inspires you?
Well, she's really thinking. I'll answer that while she's
Jump in,
thinking.
Chris.
You know what inspires me? People that do good things for other people. That inspires me.
Nice.
People that have courage to overcome stuff. That's inspiring. That's the real deal.
Yeah. That's a good answer, Chris. And, it's, and Chris is kind of like that, too. He's always saving all the animals up and down his road. He's always rescuing cats and dogs and helping. And he's, like I said, he lives out in the country. So sometimes if there's, like, a dog that got hit or, he's always there helping all of God's creatures out. So he's kind of following in that vein.
So that's your answer, Emily?
Hey, I was trying to get out of the answering it. Oh. I actually don't know. That's a hard question. I really would have to, think deep on that. I mean, yeah, I admire people that do try to change the world and do good. I mean, I'm an environmentalist. I think it's good to try to keep the environment intact. So hats off to the people that go out and demonstrate against all the fracking that's going on and the oil industry and all that stuff. I'm behind those people 100%. Those people inspire me, the activists.
Oh, all right. That wasn't what I was expecting, but okay.
What were you expecting?
Some badass answer, and I got an environment, the activist.
I
That's
know.
a
I'm a tree hugger. I'm a total tree hugger. You wouldn't
how
believe.
diverse we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very creative, and it's good though because you keep people on their toes, and they don't know what to expect. Like you actually stumped me. I'm like, well, let me guess. She's gonna, talk about some, famous poet or something of that sort, and she's, talking about environmentalists. That I'm like, whoa, wait a second.
You're like, we just did a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Are these the people that wrote Cigar Box Moonshine? Yep.
No.
No, those are the other people.
Oh, believe me, I have environmental songs. We just haven't recorded them yet. My soapbox.
Oh, maybe that's the new title of your next song, My Soapbox.
That's not bad,
It's not bad, yeah.
It's not bad. Something to think about, yeah. Never know.
Write it down.
So,
Right.
so for anybody, that is trying to get in the music industry, what advice would you give them? Because we all like to say everything's hunky-dory, but the cold-hearted truth is it's a cold world out there.
It's a real cold world, and one thing is, if you're going to choose to play an instrument, then learn to play the thing and enjoy yourself while you're doing it. And then don't expect to make any big money right off the bat because it takes a long time. Nobody just comes up to you and says, "Oh, man, your stuff is great." It takes a while, and it takes a while also, at least for me, it took a while to actually become able to write, I suppose. I spent years just jamming and playing other people's tunes and all that, and then all of a sudden I quit doing that, and I started coming up with my own. Then I met up with Emily and kind of went from there, and now it's just turned into something else. So I say enjoy that initial, being amazed by the sound that you can create with a piano or cello or violin or guitar, whatever, It's all part of it.
Yeah, but just there's that part of it, the creativity side, but then there's also the business end of it, and that's a lot of perseverance right there. I mean, it's one thing to be, very creative, but a lot of people are very creative in their basement, and they never share their music or try to get it out there. And Chris has worked really hard over the last 8 months or so, just with the PR on the internet and stuff. You really just have to keep pushing for people to even notice you, because there's so much music out there. There's so many indie artists that you really do have to promote yourself, or else you might as well stay in your basement. Try to do it that way.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, if you don't self-promote as much as possible, then you'll just be jamming in your bedroom or basement, and that's fine.
And that's fine if that's what you want to do. Yeah.
Right.
We are everywhere on the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
HuntleyFoht.com.
And Reverb Nation, we're there. And actually, a real easy thing to do, literally, not that I'm advertising for Google, but if you just go to Google and type in Huntley Foht, F-O-H-T, boom, you'll get all kinds of stuff. We're on beat100.com, reverbnation.com, broadjam.com, huntleyandfoht.com. I might have forgot a couple. I might have forgot a couple others. I don't know.
Yeah, Facebook too. We can find us
there.
Yeah.
All right, before
our album's on iTunes and Amazon, and we're just we're everywhere.
All right, before we get out of here, we do have a caller from Brooklyn, New York. Would you like to ask the band a question? I guess not. All right, so do you all have any last-minute words?
Hey, we just want to thank you, Ray, for putting us on here. Truly appreciate it. I think it's fun, and I totally enjoyed it.
I so wish I could have got a hold of you, sooner and let you know that, people could come on live with you. But later down the line, we'll definitely, invite you back, and hopefully there'll be other people here other than me. And, hopefully you have, a bigger fan base by then, and fans will be able to call in, ask you questions, and all that happy, good stuff.
Yeah, I could at least have my sisters and my dad call in. We could have a few people.
There you go. There you go.
Well, the good news with this, because it is online, they can listen at any time. It's not just like normal radio. Okay, you have to hear it now, and if you don't hear it now, you're never going to hear it again.
Great. Yeah, we'll send them your way so they can listen to the podcast.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Ray.
Not a problem. It was a pleasure, and I hope you had fun on Two
Likewise.
Local Radio, and definitely keep me posted, and when you get new stuff, let me know, and I'll definitely play it.
Awesome.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you.
All right. Well, Emily and Chris, you all have a wonderful evening, and take care.
You. All right, you too. Bye, Ray Ray.
We'll see you guys.